I'm just a beginner. Come up and I'll show you what a beginner is. You rap like a winner, I rap like I don't give a damn who the winner is. Sick and high flow, bit तभी तो लग रहा थोड़ा feverish. तू डर तो नहीं रहा ना bro? I'm looking for all of the remedies, but nothing's working. Those who've been trolling me have been deleting enough. Now they worrying, probably cause now they know I'ma be reading enough. Throwing shit at me previously, now they say I ain't deserving enough. Tell me now, am I disturbing? Look at me, I'm on the stage and I'm eating it up.
Good. I'm really, and this is like I'm in awe right now.
Yeah,
that
it's just
so
talking.
Cool. Jaw on the ground, that was just killer.
Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, so this is Sameera, Reddy, and we're back with another amazing episode of the Limitless podcast with Westside. And today we have a very special guest, and let me say I'm super envious of her because bachpan se I really wanted to be a rapper, okay? And trust me, after a couple of glasses of wine, I believe I can actually rap, but my husband tells me, no Sameera, you can't. And I will take you to our guest because she is the original rapper, poet, writer. She's also known as Shakti, Chota Don, and my chill kind of guest, Srushti Tawde. Welcome to the episode.
Hello, thank you for having me.
No, we're very excited to have you.
I'm also very excited to be here.
You know, this amazing energy that you have. You literally come out of that phone and you're like, guys, listen to me. And you know, you kind of bring it out with the most beautiful lines. And this inspiration that I think you're 24?
Yeah.
At 24, you're extremely deep and you're very intense. So first of all, I want to ask you, was this you to begin with? Like you've always been this confident young girl or?
Not really. This is a very recent revelation that I'm confident. I never knew. And I think for the first 20 years of my life, I didn't know I could be confident at all.
Really?
Yeah.
So what about the switch? Because I know a lot of people out there are trying to find that mojo, you know, they're trying to find that switch. So what was your switch?
My switch was very filmy. It was writing and it literally changed my life like lives change in films. That's how drastically my life changed after I started writing. And like at 21, I started writing out of nowhere. I was attending this fest called Spoken Fest, and that was the first fest I ever attended in my life, just to experience what fests are like. And then that fest had such an impact on me because I watched people live life and like, you know, breathe art over there, and it was all very new to me. I had never seen such a thing. And just there I decided on the spot that I'm going to be part of this kind of life and I'm going to live what these guys are living. They're very happy. I'm going to do what they're doing.
That's so cool.
So that I'm also happy. And that was the day, like 11th January 2020
Wow.
is when I first decided that I'll write. And I was a part of the audience, and there was this whole concert going on of a band called Peter Cat Recording Company. They were playing on stage and everybody in the audience was waving hands and, you know, just vibing. And I was standing in the audience in that crowd and I was just looking at these people and crying and crying and crying, just standing there and tears shedding. So basically I was feeling like I had seen life for the first time.
Wow.
That's what I was feeling. Like everybody was so lively and so, you know, nobody was judging anyone. Everybody was just focused on enjoying where they were, living in the moment, and all of that was very new to me. That was my first time experiencing it. And because the entire day I had spent listening to people who had written great stuff, I just decided I'm going to be a part of this. And like you've seen what concert audiences are like, right? So everybody was standing and waving hands and all. And I sat down in the audience and wrote on a piece of paper that from today onwards I'm going to write and my life is going to change from tomorrow. Nobody in my life is going to recognize who I am anymore and I'll never forget this paragraph. So I didn't forget that paragraph. I started writing from that day. Every day since then I've written and my life changed. Everything.
And that's like actually an affirmation.
Yeah.
So without realizing it, you actually wrote down an affirmation which you manifested it, which I keep saying this, guys, you know, all these books come out like Secret and Find Yourself, and I keep saying it, yaar, 100 books can come, 100 friends can come, parents can shout in your ears. But if you don't want to get up and actually change the moment, whether you're 24, whether you're even, you know, 44, where I am today, and you don't want to change it yourself, nobody can change it for you. And what you did, and anybody listening out there, take this moment. This is a great tool. Srushti took a piece of paper. she wrote down what she wanted for herself and she remembers it till today. I mean, she remembers the damn day. Wow.
Yeah.
And you manifested this and it moved you to this amazing space today. And I think that's really cool. But I have to ask you this. As a kid, you're telling me you were just quiet. Did you have a lot of friends? Were you like this really bustly, girl that you are today?
So, people have a perception of me now. It's very, very close to reality, whatever perception people have popularly now. But until 4 years ago, none of these traits were here. No personality, no friends, no life.
No friends, nothing.
No friends.
I can't believe
no
that.
friends. I have had one friend, just like one friend who's still stuck by me. But then back in my school days, I used to hang out with these group of people who I thought were my friends, but I was trying too hard to fit in with them. And they didn't want to be friends with me back then.
They didn't want to be friends with you?
Yeah. They didn't want to be friends
Why?
with me. And it was very clear. They made it very obvious and evident every day that they don't want to be friends with me. Like, there is this one incident I'll never forget, I think, where somebody, like one of these girls in this group, you know slam books, right?
Yeah, of course.
Children fill slam books. So, in one of her slam books, she wrote things I hate the most. And she wrote When Srushti Talks.
Oof.
And then she asked me to read her slam book.
Why? Oh my god, that's so mean.
I know.
But I always say this, that when people troll, see, that's a different kind of trolling. That's a really mean situation. But, I always say this, there are kids who are also listening to the podcast, or parents of kids listening. And in your teens, you especially go through these moments which are your formative years. And there are kids like you who actually came out of it in the most positive ways. But there are, I hope my daughter and my son will not go through this. Or maybe you take it in the most positive force, which you did. Or sometimes it can hit you very negatively, when people talk like this about you and put you down, right?
I have all positive, but I have this dream. And today is that day कि my dream सच होने वाला है. I had always visualized one day in some interview, I'm going to mention this incident where she wrote in her slam book that she hates when Srushti talks, and I'll not take her name and all, but the world will only find out her name if Srushti talks.
Yeah, that's it. I like it. And not only are you talking, you're rapping, you're writing, you're owning this space, and most importantly, you're changing the game. I keep saying this, being unique, okay? I mean, I think somewhere people don't believe in themselves. A lot of people just try to fit in. They say that this is the trend. As you said, trends are there, right? And you fit into the trend. And there was a time in my point, I remember as an actress, all of us actresses were looking the same. Same dusky makeup, padded bras, light eyes, straight hair. And if you look the same, how are you going to stand out? You took that game, you changed it, you decided that I'm going to go, and I must say, into a male-dominated space. I see rapping as, there are barely any women out there. You've sort of gotten there and you've just made this crazy mark. Wherever, when you talk about a rapper, I do think of you, and I want to know, how hard is that? How hard is that in a male-dominated space? Do you feel a little bit like if there's a difference in the way you're perceived?
There may be a difference, but it doesn't stand out to me because as I said, for the first 21 years of my life, I was standing nowhere. I was fitting in nowhere. And now that I'm celebrated for standing out, it does not matter to me personally whether I'm standing out in a male-dominated space or a female-dominated space or whatever. I'm just standing out. Finally, I am somewhere. So I've never thought about it in that sense. I've never given the thought a chance कि male dominated space में मैं कैसे establish करूँ खुद को. I've never had that I never looked at it as a problem at all.
That's superb.
I just
and I've seen this, they're supporting you. I mean, I saw this Instagram post of you with a couple of really famous rappers, and I see them really,
and there are people who really do support. Luckily, I found all of them.
And I can say that, so if you look at all those negative positions that you were in as a teen, of all those people who may have slammed you in their slam book, sometimes a negative push can be turned into a positive one with the way you see it. And that's what you've done. You've taken a situation, you've come out of nowhere, and you've sort of just dashed that scene. But one thing I got to tell you is something that you really, when I saw you and I said, wow, this is my kind of gal, because when you walked, you had this really cute tomboyish thing about you. And I mean, I've always been told that, I mean, my husband keeps telling me, he's like, sometimes you got to be a little ladylike. And I'm like, what's that? You have that very cool bit about you. Do you feel sometimes that, as a woman, you've had to fit into that very girly situation? You're like, just jack that. I'm going to do what I want.
I try. Whatever.
Well, we are very ladylike today for Westside.
Today, this is the most ladylike I can be. Like, so far in my life, I've never been.
But you are looking extremely pretty in that dress and those rings, I have to say, and those nails.
This is my first time wearing nails. Hopefully my last.
Really? Well, I think you look pretty cute.
I mean, they might look cute, but they're not me.
Okay.
That is the only problem with these nails.
So who are you? Put yourself like in maybe a couple of words and tell me, you define yourself for me.
You take down all the makeup, all the filters, all the etiquettes. That is me.
मैं नहीं तो कौन मैं?
That is me. I cannot act like, behave like a lady, sit like a lady. That is just not me.
The cutest thing is when she came for the podcast, I love the fact that she wanted to sit cross-legged. She was like, all right, let's do this. And I was like, oh, damn, Srushti. But I mean, I will tell you though, what would you tell girls who are trying to find themselves, and who are feeling lost? Because I'll tell you something, right now with social media and the gram and this pressure to like look a certain way. I mean, I don't know whether you felt it in your teens and your 20s. Are you feeling it? A lot of girls out there are feeling that pressure. They're buckling under the fact that everybody's like, trying to look a certain way, trying to exude this lifestyle, trying to find success and all the weird stuff. What kind of advice do you have for them? Like, how do they cope with it?
People need to develop this very small habit of being honest with yourself in little things that you do. Just making sure you're not doing things for somebody or for something. Any decisions that you make in your day-to-day life, just making sure you know why you're doing it and it's not for somebody. And once you start taking those decisions, small decisions for yourself, then automatically the big decisions become easier to take because you're already step by step
towards it.
reached there. So then you don't have to really figure out कि ये life का सबसे बड़ा decision अब मैं कैसे लूँ. You're already there when you've taken the smaller steps.
Yeah.
So don't underestimate the smaller steps. They are all that there is.
I love that. Did your parents support you in this, or did they feel कि यार like in today's day and age लड़की को doctor बनना है, ये करना है, or how it is, still there are so many families out there who are just trying to get their daughters literally chalo education and married off. I hope that's changing. I want it to change, but I'm sure when you said I want to be a rapper, and how did people react? They're like, what? Is that a profession?
My parents have never been those types कि doctor बनना, engineer बनना, वो तो नहीं है. They always knew I would do something artistic. They just didn't know it would be rap. And again, rap is only one part of what I want to do. There is a lot of other aspects to art that I want to touch over time. But with rap, it happened so out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. And I was not planning it. So I didn't announce it also.
But you're really good at it. I swear to God, okay, I'm a closet real wannabe rapper. I'm not joking. Bachpan se I've tried this hard, and as I said, sometimes really my friends are like, Sameera, you can't do it, just stop. And in my head I think I'm going as fast as the singer, and I'm still on the first one. But
it's not about being fast. The thing about rap is, in fact, I got trolled about this. I trolled for saying that rap means chatting. But it actually does. You have to look up.
Can you give me one line?
Right.
Give me one line and let me try to say it.
वैसे तो सारे खुद ही की तारीफें सुनाने आते हैं यहाँ पे.
Okay then, let's move on. And that's in Hindi.
Right.
I'll be here till tomorrow. No, but I'm sure when you said about trolls, right? I don't get it. I see trolls and I keep thinking, is it their evolution? Am I here to change it? And that's the reason even on my page, I don't even address it. I'm like, they're just going to fall off naturally because I don't need this. It's taken me a while to wrap my head around criticism, of course, from my days as an actor till today, where I'm just, you know what, I'm like, it's their way of lashing out because they're upset in their lives. And as I said, you can't change people, whether it's friends, whether it's people around you, whether it's people who want to say hurtful things, they come and go. How do you handle it?
So my way of handling everything actually is, there's this one way I handle everything.
Please tell us, we're trying to know.
So, whatever criticism comes, I look at it as a part of my story. Like, this is a part of my story, and eventually when I'm on some other level, I'm going to be like, see, that happened and yet I got here. So right now my that happened is going on. People are saying things and whatever.
But do you get trolled on the page?
Decent amount I get trolled.
If you didn't get trolled, I would be like, something's wrong. Because when you're doing well, people are going to hate and there's nothing you can do about it.
And when you're doing something that people are not used to seeing or listening to, then you get trolled a lot. That kind of trolling I am facing. But then it's not something of value to me, so I don't give it a lot of time.
And I always say this, that if someone has an opinion of you, it's their opinion. It doesn't touch who you are. I actually say this to my 3-year-old and my 7-year-old. When he comes and says, Mama, I said, just because he says something doesn't mean it is. Are you giving that person that much power? And I'm actually teaching my kids this because I'm trying to make them understand as they get older, it's going to get worse. And you can't empower that person and allow them to call you out. If anything, you call yourself out. And that's what you're doing. Srushti, you have changed the game. You have completely made this your own story. You have taken a blank page. And as I can figure out from what you've said, from your teenage years of being slammed, you took that blank paper and you're just making the most beautiful, intense, deep portrait of your own. You're not letting anybody around you just change anything about it. And I think that's amazing. And that's what I've taken away from this.
That is an amazing way to put it on.
Yeah. And you know what? When you touch 44, I'm going to tell you that painting is going to be lush. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be full of these amazing stories. And I'm hoping that, I'm going to be able to chat with you then and say, you know what? We chatted when you were 24 and you were just starting out this painting, because that's all we do, right?
Yeah.
This is our life. And before you know it, you're going to look back and say you did it your way. And Srushti, you've definitely done it your way. Is there anything you'd like to say before we end this most amazingly fun podcast?
That is the most pressure throughout this podcast. Do you have a message for the youth?
It's not youth, it's even women like me who are in their 40s who are so scared and saying, you know what, when we were in our 20s, we didn't do this, and 30s, and then we're aging, and men are not given so much stress, and we are. And even women like me want to listen to you, a 24-year-old maybe, or a 24-year-old listening and thinking, I should enjoy my life like Srushti right now. I need to own it, grab it, before I touch later on and say, I should have done that.
Right.
So I'm sure you have some message like that.
I would be like, right now, what Sameera is living in this moment, that I want to reach here. This vibe I want to reach.
Actually, you know what it is? Srushti, when I was your age, I wasn't a little bit confident. I swear to God, I questioned myself all the time, which is why it was so important for me to have a guest like you, who is really telling everyone out there, grab it and just go for it. And I'm doing that in my 40s. And again, I swear, I wish I did it in my 20s. So you're living the dream and you're really doing it your way. And that's what her message is. That's what our message is for everybody.
Yeah, that is more or less my message. As in, there are so many things that scare you out of pressure and out of societal expectations and, familial expectations. Whatever scares you, you're only always one decision away from getting all of that out of your way. Like, one time you decide not to be scared and to, डर के आगे बढ़ जाने का एक बार सोचे, उसमें सब हो जाता है. Then you don't have to do it again, ever. It's just one time.
Exactly. Just jump in there and tackle it. Thank you so much, man. Srushti, you know what? This is everything and more. I'm really, really thrilled to have had this moment with you today. You're this powerhouse, and I cannot wait to see what's coming up. Your journey has just begun, and we're rooting for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And we're going to see you on our next episode of the Limitless podcast with Westside. And this is me and Srushti Tawde signing out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.